my dear pupils of primary 3, I once again welcome you to this momentous lesson of mathematics. Mathematics is a very good subject whereby each and every child should learn it, and it is good, it is the easiest, so you should make sure that you learn it with wholeheartedly, with knowledge. You apply some knowledge, you apply some numeracy, you consolidate concepts such that mathematics becomes easier for you. Today in primary 3 we are going to look at a topic called fractions, and that is lesson 3. Remember, last time we looked at lesson 1 and lesson 2. So now we are going to look at lesson 3, known as shading fractions. If you can remember, in our lesson 2 we looked at naming fractions, but now we are going to look at shading fractions as our lesson 3. Here are one of our examples, and one of it says in the diagrams below, shade 1 out of 3. What does 1 out of 3 mean? This is our diagram. What does 1 out of 3 mean? So 1 out of 3 simply means that we are going to shade one part out of the 3 parts. Are you all here? So 1 out of 3 simply means that we are going to shade one part out of the 3 parts. These are the 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. So we are going to shade one part. Let us shade it. Make sure that when you are shading, you don't scribble, you don't scroll, but you shade properly. Make sure that your sticks do not penetrate to other boxes. So I have shaded only one part out of how many parts? 1, 2, 3. So that's how we do it. So we have passed that number. We go to part B. Our part B is saying we are going to shade 2 out of 5. We are going to shade 2 out of 5, or you can read it as we are going to shade 2/5. So how do we shade 2 out of 5? This one simply means that we are going to shade 2 parts out of the 5 parts. Out of the 5 parts. So we are going to shade 2 parts out of the 5 parts. Hope you are here. So they are 5. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now the question is saying that you should shade only 2 parts. So let us shade 2 parts. We shade. This is one part. You make sure that you shade only 2 parts. This is one part, and this is the second part. So that one simply means that we have shaded 2 parts out of 5 parts. Hope you are getting the concept. Our part C is saying, remember the question was, in the diagrams below, we are going to shade. Then part C is saying that we are going to shade 3 out of 4. It can also be read as 3/4. So how do we shade 3 out of 4? This one simply means that we shade 3 parts out of the 4 parts. So we are going to shed 3 parts out of the 4 parts. Remember, before shading, you first count how many parts are there. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 4 parts. So here we are going to shed 3 parts out of the 4 parts. Let's shed. That's our 1 part. You can shade this one also to make sure that now they are 2 parts, and you finish up by shading this part such that they become how many parts? They become 3 parts out of the 4 parts. Remember, last time we were looking at naming and reading fractions. Remember, this can also be read as 3 quarters or 3 out of 4. We go to number next, and that is part D. Don't forget our question. The question was saying in the diagrams below, we shared these fractions. This one is 5 out of 8. How are we going to shade 5 out of 8? Or we can also read this as 5/8. Last time we looked at naming and reading fractions, so now we are looking at shading fractions as our lesson. So we are going to say 5 out of 8. It means that we are going to shade 5 parts. 5 parts out of the 80 parts. Hope you are also viewing here. So we are going to shade 5 parts out of the 80 parts. How many parts are there, by the way? Yes, they have told us that there are 8 parts, but are they? Let's first count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, they are 8 parts. So we are going to make sure that we do shade 5 parts out of the 8 parts. Let us shade. Gently, don't scribble, don't scroll. That's 1 part. You can go to the next part. We have to make sure that we shade only 5 parts. So these are 2 parts. We go to the next one. 3 parts. Those ones become 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It means that we are remaining with only 1 part. So let us pick 1 part such that we get 5 parts. So this simply means that we have shaded 5 parts out of the 8 parts. Thank you for observing. Part E is saying that we are going to shade 1 out of 2. Remember, last time we said that this one can be read as a half. This one can be read as a half. So, how are we going to shade a half out of these 2 parts? They are 1, 2. They are 2 parts. So, it means that we are going to shade 1 part out of the 2 parts. That's what half means. Half means that we are going to shade only 1 part out of these 2 parts. So you shade. You can either shade this one or shade this one. But now let me shade this one. So that is 1 part out of the 2 parts. Let us look at our trial numbers. We do have trial numbers. Remember, we always, after giving you examples, I always give you trial numbers, whereby we are going to do these trial numbers together. The question is, in the diagrams below, shade 1 out of 4. If you can remember very well, last time we looked at naming fractions. How did we name this fraction? Do you remember? So we named this fraction as a quarter, and we said that this is called a quarter. So how are we going to shade a quarter? Remember, a quarter simply means that we shade one part out of the 4 parts. One part out of the 4 parts. So we are going to shade one part out of these 4 parts. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. They are 4 parts, but the question is saying that we should only shade one part. So you shade one part of your choice. You can shade this one, you can shade this one, so long as you have shaded only one part. So let me shade this one. So that one simply means that I have shaded 1 out of 4. We go to the next trial number. The next trial number is saying that in this diagram we are going to shade 2 out of 3. Remember last time when we looked at naming fractions, we named this fraction as 2/3. We named this fraction as 2/3. I can also write for you it 2. This is read as 2/3. But we looked at this one last time. I'm not going to repeat writing, but what brought us today here is to shade. So now we are going to shade. This simply means that we are going to shade 2 parts out of the 3 parts. We are going to shade 2 parts out of the 3 parts. How many parts, by the way? They are 3. Is it right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. They are 3 parts. And the question is saying that you shade only 2 parts out of the 3 parts. So let us shade 2 parts. I can shade this one. Oh, let me reuse this one. I can shade this one. You can also shade another one, such that you shade only 2 parts out of the 3 parts. My dear pupils, today we have learned about shading fractions, and we have looked at different fractions. That is a third, 2/5, 3 out of 4, 5 out of 8, a half, and others. I have also given you the trial numbers. We have did these trial numbers together. So thank you for the participation. Thank you for being here all the time. The activity has been sent to you, so please, my dear children, attempt the numbers that have been given to you, such that you pass mathematics with flying colors. We'll meet in the next lesson. Thank you.